Bast fiber. Bast fibers are composed of bundles of many cells cemented together with non-cellulosic substances. These fibers are part of stem structure. जो पेड़ का जो तना है वहां से हमें ये फाइबर मिलता है, and because it is found under the bark or bast, that's why this is known as bast fibers. Some examples of bast fibers are jute. Very popular fiber under the category of bast is jute, then flax, and then many more other fibers like hemp, kenaf, sun, remi, and urena. All these fibers are examples of bast fibers. These fibers occur in between outer bark and woody central cylinder. जो पेड़ का जो स्टेम है उसको भी हम दो पार्ट में डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, एक अंदर का जो सेंट्रल सिलिंड्रिकल पार्ट है और एक उसके बाहर जो बार्क है, जो छाल है, उन दोनों के बीच में ये फाइबर्स पाए जाते हैं. So this fiber occurs in between outer bark and woody central cylinder. So first fiber in the category of bast fibers we are taking is jute. This is classified as natural, cellulosic, bast, multicellular fiber. Density of this fiber is 1.48 to 1.50 grams per cubic centimeter. The countries which are major producer of jute are almost 85% of jute is produced in India and Bangladesh. So these two countries are the major source of jute production. Other countries in which jute is produced are Burma, Formosa, China, Brazil, Nepal, Vietnam, Taiwan, Thailand, and Paris. But the main major portion of jute is produced in India and Bangladesh. These are obtained from stems of two plants, and the name of these two botanical names of these plants are Corchorus capsularis and Corchorus oletorius. So these two plants are producing the stem of jute is found in the stem of these two plants. One is known as Corchorus capsularis, another is Corchorus oletorius. Chemical composition is, there is spelling mistake, it is mainly, not mainly composed of cellulose, but having larger percentage of gum. Cellulose is found in around 64%, whereas gum is around 24%. So very high amount of impurities are found in jute fiber, and small amount of water, fat, wax, and ash is found. Here we are taking anatomy of jute stem. जूट का जो स्टेम है, जूट फाइबर जिस स्टेम से हमें मिल रहा है, जिस तने से हमें मिल रहा है, उसका शारीरिक रचना कैसी है, उसकी एनाटॉमी कैसी है, that is indicated in this diagram. As I have mentioned earlier in the first slide, this part is woody central cylinder in the center, and outside this periphery is indicating outer bark, and these are fiber bundles of fibers which are surrounded by gummy material. So between the bark and this woody cylinder of stem, these fibers are found in bundles. So this is anatomy of jute stem. Some points about cultivation of jute. What type of soil is required? Low-lying, slightly acidic, alluvial soil. Alluvial means the soil remains after flood. So a deposit left by flood, that is known as alluvial soil. So particularly for jute production or for agriculture of jute, we require this type of land, low-lying areas, Slightly acidic areas and alluvial soil is best for cultivation of jute. Rainfall ranges between 80 mm to 100 mm. Humidity required is 65% to 90% humidity, means it is produced in high humid conditions. Temperature is 25 to 40 degrees centigrade. Firstly, soil is prepared by plowing and harrowing. These are the two processes to prepare the soil or to prepare the land for the cultivation of jute. So this harrowing is the process in which we are breaking up the soil by a heavy frame of metal spikes. Corchorus capsularies are shown early in February and March, whereas Corchorus olitorius is shown in month of April and May. Seed germination takes 3 to 5 days. When plant length is 8 to 15 centimeter, weeding and thinning is done. After plantation, it grows as single stalk. Stem height in the beginning it is 2.5 meters, and when the full stem height is 8 to 12 meters. Time to grow up to full length requires around 3 months, that is 90 days. After maturation, color of plant changes from green to yellow and then to reddish yellow, and that is indication that it is mature. Small buds of yellow flower with sweet smell appears, which provides uh, seeds for next crops. And time taken from sowing to harvesting, it is around 100 to 130 days, from middle June to end of September. At flowering or pod formation, plants are harvested by hands. Due to rain or flood, early harvesting lowers the yield and gives short pale fibers. Late harvesting gives higher yield but inferior qualities of fibers. The stems are cut and tied into bundles and left to lie in the field for retting, and occasionally their leaves are stripped. So this is a very important process used in jute and flax fibers. So first we will define what is retting. Retting is a process of loosening and separating bark from woody stalk to remove non-cellulosic material like lignin and hemicellulose, which is done by combined actions of water and microorganisms. Retting is done to loosen and to separate the fibers from the bark so that uh, we can get the fibers. So this process is done by combined actions of water and microorganisms. Factors affecting rating. What are the factors which are affecting rating are: first, hardness of water; second, presence of oxygen and iron in water; third, presence of microbiological agents like fungi and bacteria, pH; and fifth one is temperature. So these 5 factors are affecting rating practices. Types of rating. Generally, uh, 4 types of ratings are used in industry in this jute extraction. One is dew rating, another is stagnant water rating, third one is running water rating, and fourth one is chemical rating. So any one rating can be used. Every practice is having, or every method is having some plus and minus points, some advantage and disadvantage that we are going to discuss in next slide. Dew rating. Jute stem, these are steps of dew rating. First step, jute stem kept in warm and humid atmosphere. जूट स्टेम्स को हम वार्म और ह्यूमिड एटमॉस्फेयर में रख देते हैं. Stretched in thin layer over green grass for 7 to 15 days with occasional turnover. और हम इनको स्ट्रेच कर देते हैं थिन लेयर्स में ग्रीन ग्रास के ऊपर अराउंड 7 to 15 डेज, और इसको हम बीच बीच में चेंज करते रहते हैं. वी आर टर्निंग ओवर दिस स्टेम स्ट्रक्चर को स्ट्रेच करने के बाद थोड़े थोड़े टाइम के बाद हम इसको टर्न ओवर करते रहते हैं, चेंज करते हैं इसकी पोजीशन. In third step, by this process, jute stalks get direct exposure to bright sunlight in days and to moisture in nights, because we are having humid atmosphere. So in the day it is exposed to sunlight, and in the night it is exposed to moisture. So gradually leaves, small branches, loose bark come out. और इससे क्या होगा, जो जो पत्तियां हैं, ब्रांचेस, छोटी छोटी ब्रांचेस जो हैं, और जो बार्क लूज हो गई हैं ड्यू टू रेटिंग, दैट विल कम आउट, वो अलग हो जाएगी. एंड दैट इज डन इन ओपन एनवायरमेंट. सेकंड वन इज स्टेगनेंट वाटर रेटिंग. स्टेगनेंट मीन्स जहां जहां पानी स्थिर है, जहां पानी बह नहीं रहा है, फ्लो नहीं कर रहा है, उसको हम बोलते हैं स्टेगनेंट. सो स्टेगनेंट वाटर रेटिंग, इन दिस वी आर यूजिंग सम storage of water. So jute stock bundles are weighted with stones and immersed under water 4 inches to 6 inches below the surface of water in tank or pond. So tank और pond जो है stagnant water के resources हैं, तो वहां हम इसको बंडल्स को पानी के अंदर इमर्स करके डिप करके रखते हैं. After fermentation, stalks float due to formation of carbon dioxide inside the bundles. जो ये बंडल्स है, इसके अंदर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का फॉर्मेशन होता है, और इसकी वजह से जो स्टॉक्स है वो पानी के ऊपर तैरने लगते हैं. आफ्टर फर्मेंटेशन टेक्स प्लेस. आफ्टर दिस, आफ्टर प्रॉपर रेटिंग, बंडल्स आर टेकन आउट फॉर एक्सट्रैक्शन ऑफ फाइबर्स. और उसके बाद हम इन बंडल्स को पानी के बाहर निकाल लेते हैं ताकि हम फाइबर्स एक्सट्रैक्ट कर सकें. Time for stagnant water rating is 10 to 20 days, depending upon the temperature of water and condition of stocks. Third type is running water rating. Jute stocks are immersed in a current of flowing water in big bundles and loose conditions. इसमें हम जो running water को use करते हैं, like some rivers or like that, and stocks are immersed in that into a current of flowing water in big sizes, big bundles, in loose conditions, and this is left for 20 to 30 days according to suitable conditions. When fully rated, bundles are taken out for extraction of fibers. And last one, but the most costliest process, that is chemical rating. This process consists of softening the tissues by boiling with 1% of NOH or 0.5% of S2SO4 at boiling temperature for 6 to 8 hours. These are the required conditions for chemical rating. We are using a particular chemicals in particular concentration and at a particular temperature and for a particular time period, that is 6 to 8 hours. So however, the time required is very less, it is just in hours. In other rating practices, in other rating methods, the time required is a minimum 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. But here the time required is only 6 to 8 hours. But here we require particular temperature conditions and particular chemicals are to be used. And that add on the cost of the process. Non-cellulosic matters are hydrolyzed and degraded to their respective lower products. So what is happening here? Whatever the impurities are there, they are hydrolyzed and they are degraded to the respective lower products. Then fibers are washed with clean water, so all these impurities will be removed. And quite costlier process because it requires chemicals and proper vessels for the treatment and proper conditions for the treatment. That's why it is costlier process. But time required is very less. So here we have taken in brief the duration of rating of jute fiber. Dew rating requires 7 to 15 days. Stagnant water rating requires 10 to 20 days. Running water rating requires 20 to 30 days, whereas chemical rating requires only 6 to 8 hours. extraction. So after rating, fiber should be extracted, and that process is known as extraction, and it involves a few steps. First step is drawing. After rating, because generally either we are using water, or we are using chemicals, or we are using dew, that is in a wet condition. There's fibers are in a wet condition. So these are first we are using drawing. So after rating, bundles of stalks are dried to make the fibers partially separated from the stalks. तो जैसे हम ड्राई करेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली जो फाइबर्स हैं वो जो स्टॉक से partially separate हो जाएगी. Then we are using crushing and breaking. After drying, the decomposed stalks are crushed manually using hammer or passing through fluted iron rollers. So either we can use this pair of rollers or we can use hammers to crush the fibers. It breaks and reduces the stalks to small pieces called sheaves. और इससे क्या होगा? After crushing or breaking, the fibers will be these stalks will be reduced into small pieces, and those pieces are known as sheaves. Then we use a process that is known as sketching or swingling. So these broken sheaves are removed from fibers by sketching knife. Here we are using pairs of sketching knives which are made of wood, and in this process these sheaves are removed from the fiber. So sheaves are removed, it means fibers are remaining behind, which can be used for the next processes. And this process is called sketching. After sketching, we are using hackling. It is simple combing process as we are using for spun fibers, carding process. So the same objects are here. It straightens the fibers and separates short staple fibers from longer ones. Leaves longer fibers in parallel order. By this process, clean jute fibers are extracted by removing hard woody particles. Hackling is carried out by a comb consist of a set with steel teeth. For hackling, we use a comb-like structure which is consisting of a board which is set with steel teeth or spikes. So when we are moving this comb, this parallelization process or separation process of fibers is taking place, which is known as hackling. It can be compared with carding process in this spinning process we are using for spun fibers. Normally, simple hand comb with teeth set in a series of decreasing sizes are used. So this is all about the production of jute fiber. Now we are taking properties of jute. The smallest unit of raw jute is known as reed. एक fiber जो है jute का उसको special name दिया था, that is known as reed. The length of the reeds or the length of jute fibers varies from 1 meter to 4.5 meter, means they are very high in length. It is not in centimeter or mm, it is measured in meter, and it varies between 1 meter to 4.5 meter depending upon the grade. Diameter varies between 6 to 20 microns. Density already we have taken, it varies between 1.48 to 1.5 grams per cubic centimeter. Color varies from yellow to brown to dirty gray depending upon the conditions of growth and rating practices we are using. Luster, it is moderately lustrous fiber. Tenacity ranges between 45 to 72 grams per tex, or you can say 5 to 8 grams per denier. Means you can say it is moderately strong fiber. Moisture regain is very good at 13% at 65% relative humidity and 22 degrees centigrade temperature, which are standard conditions. So on standard conditions, at standard conditions, moisture regain of jute is 13%. Elasticity, it is not a elastic fiber. So jute fibers are stiff fibers. Just opposite to elastic, it is stiff due to materials cementing the cell together, and so it has lower elasticity. And it is sometimes taken as an advantage of this lower elasticity. That is, jute can be used as a bagging material. Like you have seen, the most popular example for the uses of jute is the bags we are using. जो बोरे जिसको बोलते हैं हम, जिसके अंदर शक्कर या गेहूं भर के आते हैं, those bags, those bagging material is made up of jute because this fiber is having very less elastic property. So whenever we are filling these grains into these bags, they are not stretched. They remain in the same position due to very low elastic properties. So they will retain their shape when loaded. जब हम उसमें भर देंगे गेहूं या कुछ भी, तब भी वो अपनी ही शेप में रहेंगे. They will not stretch, and that's why these fibers are generally mainly used for bagging materials. Thermal properties: like other cellulosic fibers, this is not affected by heat. Prolonged heating degrade the fiber. Chemical properties: effects of acid. At ordinary conditions, dilute solutions of organic and mineral acids have no actions. With strong acids at boiling conditions, hydrocellulose is formed, which leads to higher loss in strength. Effects of alkalis: dilute solutions of alkalis has little effect on jute fibers, but concentrated alkalis bring about profound swelling and loss in strength. Action of sunlight: jute fiber undergoes tendering with the color changes from yellow to brown or deep brown on long exposure to sunlight. These can be dyed with sulfur dyes, acid dyes, and direct dyes. They are having good affinity with sulfur, acid, and direct dyes. Action of oxidizing agent: ordinary oxidizing agents have no action on jute. Only strong oxidizing agents will form oxycellulose. Action of microorganism: jute is more resistant to microbiological attack than cotton and flax. So we can say it is having good resistance towards these uh, microbiological attacks. And uses: first, it can be used for woven and tufted carpets, packing for cables of telephones, small domestic ropes or twines, as stuffer material in car seats, home furnishing fabrics, decorative fabrics, wall coverings, bagging cloth or Hessian cloth, bed and pillow linings, and tarpaulins, etc. So these are major uses of jute fibers. So in this way, we have covered today some from bast fibers we have started. Then bast fiber, there are different examples of bast fibers: jute, flax, hemp, kenaf, sun, remi, urena. From these, we have two fibers in our syllabus, jute and flax. So today we have taken jute fiber, classification, density, major producers, botanical names. Then we have taken chemical composition, anatomy of jute stem. Then we have taken important points regarding cultivation. Then after cultivation, these stocks are rated. So different rating methods we have taken: dew rating, stagnant water rating, running water rating, chemical rating. Details about these four processes, four methods, and duration of their duration during these different rating practices. Then we have taken extractions. Extraction involves drying. Second step, crushing or breaking. Third step, scutching, and fourth step is hackling. So after this, we are getting fibers. Then we have taken properties of fibers, chemical properties, and uses. In this way, today we have completed jute fiber.